I'm Reese Stein at your leisure at Birch Creek Reservoir in Rich County, and look at this monster. This is what spring fishing is all about. With a fresh blanket of snow, hard to believe it's spring at Birch Creek, but the tiny reservoir 7 miles west of Woodruff in Rich County is ice-free, and with the trout just shaking off the long winter, the fishing really picks up.
Well, it can be really good because fish are hungry coming out of winter. They like putting on a feed bag. And a lot of times it's a good time for success for anglers because a lot of those fish are cruising shallow, and that makes them a little bit easier for anglers to get to. And so,
good time for shore fishermen?
Definitely a great time for shore fishermen.
Onshore, biologist Phil Tuttle is in a hurry to prove that big things do come in small packages. While Birch Creek is not a big pond, it grows some lunker trout. They started planting rainbows just 4 years ago, but the fish are already trophy size.
Holy cow.
Nice rainbow.
Unbelievable. How come they get so big in here?
Really productive reservoir.
Must be.
Lots of feed.
Tuttle thinks he knows what the fish are eating, and he uses a suction tube to pump the fish's stomach to confirm.
Common name, bloodworm.
Bloodworms, or chironomids, are flies that spend their larval stage in the shallow mud where trout can cruise in and gobble them up. Tuttle uses 3 size 12 chironomid imitations and fishes them right on the bottom, nearly dead still. And again, the technique pays off as he's locked in a delicate tug of wills with a monster 20-inch rainbow. Finally, the trout tires and succumbs to the net.
As you've seen these last 2 fish, they're just really healthy fish. There's obviously enough feed in here that they've been eating well throughout the winter, but yeah, they're definitely going to start picking up here as some of the insect activity in the reservoir picks up.
This lake is also loaded with big leeches, so I tie on a green tube jig and play it slowly right on the bottom, and bang! I hook into one of what Birch Creek is really famous for, a big tiger trout.
All smiles.
I'll tell you what, I've never caught a tiger this big. This is amazing. And for this little tiny obscure reservoir here in the middle of nowhere, and look at what's lurking beneath the waves.
How big is he, Reese?
He's 25 inches, and you said he must weigh well over 5 pounds. He's just monstrous. What a beauty. Tiger trout, named for the striping on their sides, are hybrid fish, a cross between a brook and a brown built in the fish hatchery. They're a valuable biological tool. They're also sterile, so their numbers can be controlled.
They're a fish that grows big. They're really piscivorous, meaning they eat a lot of fish. Tiger trout are used to help control unwanted fish populations and keep, populations like chubs at bay so we can enjoy the sport fish that we have.
Ice off is a great time for early spring action at many Utah reservoirs, big and small. Here at Birch Creek, patience is the word. It took us over 2 hours to catch our first fish, but the fish we caught were definitely worth the wait. And despite the lake's size, wildlife officials encourage anglers to seek out these small treasures.
It's a wonderful reservoir. It's a little bit of a drive from the Wasatch Front, but it's worth it. The fish are big, the trout are hungry, and it's not a reservoir that you're going to catch a million fish, but it is that reservoir where typically the fish you catch are going to be really quality fish.
Well, you can't beat what you've caught today.
No, I'm happy.
And after one of the biggest trout of my life, I'm pretty happy too. Reese Stein at your leisure, Birch Creek Reservoir.